Which of the following sentences best summarizes the first paragraph? And the answer is J. If we admit that there is not enough quality poetry written by women, it can make it easier to discover why this is so and to help us change the situation in the future. All right, and so the sentiment being expressed here is that historically, not enough of the great poetry has been written by women. But if we admit this, find out why, then we can fix this situation so that women take their rightful place as co-creators of the great poetry in the world. This is what the author is trying to say in this essay. So the evidence for that in the first paragraph comes here. It says that time is overdue to admit that there is something of a vacuum in women's poetry and that we abhor it. For us to concede this is not, for a woman to concede this is not disloyal to her sex. It is the first step in the creation of an environment in which women artists will flourish. And so what this is saying is, well, here directly we say we need to admit that there's a vacuum in women's poetry. A vacuum implies an empty space. So there's not enough women's poetry in the canon of poetry. And then if we admit that to ourselves, it's the first step to do something else. So a first step is always going to make something easier. A journey will be very hard without its first step. And finally, the thing that it will lead us to, the thing that it's the first step in the direction towards, is an environment where women artists will flourish. And that's going to be a change because here, this vacuum that the author believes is there, that there are not enough great women poets, will be full of great women poets, provided that we admit that there is not enough quality poetry written by women. And this is the correct answer to summarize the author's first paragraph, J.